All right. Hey, everyone. It's Kathy Alessandra, the Yes, I Can coach. And I am here today with another episode podcast for Yes, I Can Living. If you have not already subscribed to our magazine, be sure you hop over there as soon as you finish listening to this podcast and grab your copy. We've got the next issue coming out early spring. If you go to yesicanliving.com, you can grab your print issue as well. And of course, we have our online that you can view anytime. So today I'm super excited to have Heather Steinker. She's a productivity coach. Oh, let me say that. Hello. Health expert, and of course, a mompreneur, juggling it all, following the crumbs and the chaos of a full-time job. As a busy mom of three, a wife to a traveling hubby, and keeping it weird in Austin, Texas, it's safe to say that Heather's life is far from boring. Running a household with three young kids takes strategy and a system to keep things moving like a well-oiled machine. After many moms came to her asking, how do you do it? I swear you have more time than anyone else. Don't you love that, right? How do you have so much time? Oh, because I'm efficient. Heather wanted to show them the way. She created Chaos and Cookies to help busy moms stress less and save time through helpful tools and systems to increase productivity in their lives. Teaching moms to be more efficient in their home or running their business, working smarter and not harder is the goal. And she teaches her clients how to master the multitask with providing how-to tips and hand-holding some of them to get through the crazy. Now, in addition to running her coaching business and being the CEO of Chaos and Cookies, Heather is a certified coach for a premier virtual fitness and nutrition program, helping others feel better while sustaining a healthy lifestyle. She gained 10 years of experience as the director of marketing, building multiple court reporting companies. And oh, as if she wasn't busy enough, she maintains her own column called How To with Heather for a local neighborhood magazine where she teaches her community fun hacks to be more self-sufficient and with common household tasks. So you can catch her weekly on her podcast, Chaos and Cookies, which ranked 80 in the parenting realm, which is awesome in the US charts. And she keeps moms from crumbling and teaching productivity strategies while she chips away one problem at a time. So Heather, I'm super excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me, Kathy. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah. You know what? Especially in this new year and talking about productivity and stressing less and streamlining more, it's a perfect way to kind of get started in this new year here in January. So let's talk a little bit for a moment about your business, how you started it, why you started it, and share a little bit of that with our audience.
Sure. So Chaos and Cookies, like you mentioned, is my business. We were playing around with the names and we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves too much on the back end. So I thought, Chaos, I have three young kids. They're 7 and younger. And they're so close in age, and so it's always kind of crazy. My husband's usually on the road, and then when you have kids, like, you're never clean. There's always crumbs of some sort, no matter how much you clean. So it's, Chaos and Cookies is my life, and I'm a big themester for their birthdays, and we bake. And I'm not this is not a bakery, which most people think. And really, I have learned how to do so much because my husband has been on the road our entire relationship. And it's like one of those things where when something happens and you don't either have the bandwidth to call someone to help you, or, if someone has to come in and help and you don't have the time to give them bit by bit on what's going on, wouldn't it be nice to just have a system in place to where someone can just seamlessly come in, take the stress off mom because maybe the leak in the plumbing is off and you can't take your son to martial arts because you're dealing with the plumber and someone needs to know what to do. So it's those juggles and shifts that you have to make, and giving moms more opportunity to deal with the leak, whether that be being knowledgeable of when that help is coming in and what to spend the money on. Maybe it's a quick fix, maybe it's a major fix, or something you can fix before your husband gets home to fix it for real. Time, saving money and time. And then on the other side, having a system and something where someone can step in, know what to do with your kids, so you're they're in good hands, there's gonna be no problems, and peace of mind, because moms worry about everything.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, and originally, so I have a chaos control system, and we're still kind of messing around with it, but I have a nanny pack to help moms in the like this past year who couldn't go to preschool and never really had a nanny or help before, and how to like navigate that properly. And then also like the systems like to get your home in order. Like everyone wants to get their, space organized and feel like they're in control of this. So then, because you can't control everything else. So I just
Right.
teach them how to self-sufficient and be productive
I
at
love
the same
that.
time.
I love that. I think it's important because, well, when I started my businesses 26 years ago, I had a newborn and a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old kind of thing, right? So I've been there, I've done that. I hear you. And, if you don't have some of those systems in place and kind of know what your priorities are and all that, it can certainly develop into chaos in a big way.
Sure. And when mom does take the break, because it's rare we get to, you don't want to get hammered with text messages and questions all the time. And so for Chaos and Cookies, I really wanted to implement something where it would sit maybe in the kitchen, or you could just be like, flip to page 5 and it's there. Like, oh, where's the pacifier? Well, it's on the bedside table. Oh, and if it's not there, check, boom, 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 because I know he throws it maybe behind the changing table, or he likes to hide it. You don't like that stuff you have, and you have to put it down, because then it's like, oh, did you check here? Did you check there? So now mom's stressing and kind of getting interrupted while doing whatever she needs to do, when it could just be like, here, once you check those things, then call.
Right, right. I love that. I love it. So let me ask you this: is you've started your business and you're fairly new to Chaos and Cookies, right? And getting that going. So what has been, and well, and we did talk about how you had been, 10 years working as a director of marketing, and some of that must have probably been in the realm of having kids. What's been some of your biggest challenges, and particularly in starting this business, and how are you overcoming that?
Oh, wow. So, yes, I have 10 years plus experience. I built court reporting companies for two different firms from bottom up, and was really sales and marketing is my thing. Like I love just building relationships and really showing that I care. And so I call myself a babypreneur. I'm a young business owner and I'm new at it. And so for me, the challenges of creating your own business, one is when you're working for someone else or for a company, all those things, all the processes, they're not really your problem. They're provided to you. You sell whatever it is you're selling. Yes, you need to make sure that your client is getting what they need, but you don't have to worry about how to get the word out marketing wise and produce the things. You don't have to worry about back end systems and email chains and how to, all the technical things, website. And for me, I just was like, you give me something, I'll sell it. Like I know what I'm selling. I have my, I can sell whatever and I can sell my thing, but getting your messaging right, like when you work for a business, that's already there. It's established before they start bringing someone in to kind of like push it and put it out. And when you're starting, you're really testing and tweaking. And I am a perfectionist. I like to do things the right way, or at least close to it the first time, or I will learn how to do it before. I'm learning that you can't really be as I'm a very hyper vigilant person. I'm very like instant gratification. And it's tough when you're like spending money and investing in a business, and then it takes time for ROI to come in. And I'm so like not used to being able to be like, because it's not ready yet, or I need to tweak this or make this or this. And that's a huge thing for me.
Right.
It's really hard.
It does take time. Nothing grows overnight, for sure. The overnight millionaire, yeah, not so much.
No. And I think too, learning, especially in the year of 2020, when everything kind of like the face-to-face selling came to a halt. So when I developed Chaos and Cookies, I was coming from my health and wellness because I was writing out my non-compete in the legal field. And I had just had my back surgery, and I just had my youngest. He was 4 months old at the time when I found the health and wellness company. And I was like, I need something to kind of get going. I'm not used to just not working. It's not in me. I like to work. And so when I found it, it kind of developed into, I love this, but I want to be able to do something of my own, because if it were to go away overnight, then what? You pour yourself into something. Let's make it my own and feel like how we could, mix it. So then I started writing for the magazine, and I was like, had all these ideas, like I'm going to be in front of all these moms. I can get to go to here and there. Boom, pandemic. No, you can't market to people. No, you can't go see someone. You're all on social media. So making those pivots was like, oh, I got to do a different way, because for me, social selling was new.
Right.
I took attorneys to lunch, happy hours, brought, offices, cookies, and did the thing, and mingled. And when you're social selling, you have to create graphics and understand analytics. And that's not my forte, wasn't my forte. It has become my forte.
If you look at your Instagram, I would beg to differ. So let's go down that path right now, because I came across you. I mean, I started seeing posts that you were doing. Because I'm friends with Sue Lead and Molly B Cookies, right? And so I had seen a giveaway that the two of you had partnered and done. And then there was a lot of connections you and I both had. So I started seeing a lot of your things that were going on, and the stuff that you were posting on Instagram was funny. And it was, it was there was one that you did that was just, I literally watched it 3 times. You were rolling yourself in a roll of wrapping paper. I mean, it was like, how did she manage to do that? And yeah, right. Anyway, and you've got, I mean, it was over 10,000 followers, I want to say, when I was looking at it. It may have even been higher. But so you've pivoted to definitely market on social selling, social media. Instagram obviously seems to be, one that you're really taking interest in. And then you kind of pivoted a little bit about what you're teaching too. So can you share a little bit more about that, and why, how you saw that and how you kind of stepped into it?
So at first, when I was doing Chaos and Cookies, I was really trying to hone in on like helping moms be more productive, freeing up their time at home for mental health, mental space, and trying to feel like them again after, because I had just come out of back surgery and, trying to feel fit, and I had just had a baby, and, and I wasn't working. So you feel, and you kind of lost yourself. And so I was like really wanting to help moms overcome that, and also be able to not feel like they're falling behind, because during, with everything going on, with everyone home and under just one roof, you just felt like you were just collapsing and just couldn't catch up. You were doing all the things during the day, but then you sit down at the end of the day and you're like, I didn't get anything done. And it was that, and it was very constant throughout. And so that was the main goal. So then what was happening is, because I was learning social media, I was on Instagram. I got on Instagram when I became a Faster Way coach. I didn't even have Instagram. I was on Facebook in college. I got off of it because my husband sells IT, and he was very like, no social. So I got off of it. So I was like getting my feet wet again, and like really like, what is Instagram? At the time, I had a younger sitter that helped me while he was traveling. And I was like, how do you make a post? Like, I was asking this 20-year-old how to do it, because I was like, I don't know what to do. Oh, you can link it. Oh, this is great. It saves you so much time. And so working with the platform, I was really able to first get over like being embarrassed. Like, you just have to be you. And I feel like in person you can be me, like I could be me, but on social media I wasn't able to at first. And I was like, you know what? As soon as I let that go, I saw a lot of just more engagement and more, just people being more genuine towards me and feeling like I found my people. And I spent a lot of time figuring out Instagram, Facebook, how to market the best way, because I'm hyper vigilant. I want results now. I don't want to like wait. And I'm quick. I want to figure it out and just like do it. And so a lot of these people that follow me are newer to Instagram. They're like mid-age, and that was really my demographic for my health and wellness. And so they, again, were also coming into Instagram new. It was a new thing, because that's not what the plan was when they were coming in to selling something. They were going to do face-to-face in their, their warm market. And so now they're trying to figure out how to do a reel. Reels are newer and they're hot and they're 15 seconds, but there's a lot of moving parts. And there was many a nights where I fought with my husband because I'm on the phone. I do it all from my phone. And you're doing this, and it's very time consuming if you don't know where you're going. And we would get in arguments, and he's like, what is taking so long? I'm like, I'm trying to do this. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be faster. So now I'm like, you know what? If you guys are having those arguments, let me help you. So a lot of moms and mompreneurs come to me and say, how did you do that? How do I do XYZ? I'm spending too much time doing it, and they're not getting what they want done. So without abandoning my baby, my chaos system, I'm now showing how you can be productive on social and doing the things that you aren't good at or don't know about, along with the home stuff too, because maybe you need to get to that laundry. And I'm really known for, in the home space, folding my laundry in my car while I wait for the kids to get picked up, because before I had someone help me. Now my husband's home, we don't have help because we don't really need the extra hand, but that's not going to help me get my laundry done faster. So I've got to sit down and do nothing. Might as well get some stuff done. So thinking out of the box, smarter, not harder, and really showing them it's not hard. You just need to understand it and be shown.
Well, I love the fact too that you're talking about working smarter, not harder, but you're also seeing a need, right? And as an entrepreneur, we jump in. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for over 26 years, right? And you jump in and you do things, and you think that this is where what the market needs and what the market wants, and then that same market might be asking for something else, right? And so the fact that you took this and have made a little pivot, not like you said, not abandon the other, right? You're still doing that, but made a little pivot and are now offering that, and the pandemic pivot. It was like,
yeah, right.
what is it that people need? And it is one of those things that, those who are trying to do the social selling, everybody's asking, how do you sell on Instagram? How do you get more followers? What are your hashtags, right? There's all those questions. And so, listening to your ideal client and answering that question for them in a bigger way, offering a program, I think is huge. More people need to, they need to be listening to what their clients are asking for.
That's the hugest thing too, because I've done a lot of coaching. I've been in coaching, like I've done lots of expensive coaching programs, and I'm still in them trying to develop myself. And a lot of the messages are they're very similar or the same, but they're delivered in different ways. And some resonate at different times. And so I know what I need to do. It's just, and so does everybody else. It's just now like being able to execute it in a way where you feel good about it, because social media is very uncomfortable for most in general. And then trying to put yourself out there is uncomfortable. So then it's like, you're slowing yourself down. And if you can try and at least take the question out of the how to do it, so then you can just, the why is clear, then at least it takes that away, and you can do it a little bit quicker and maybe start feeling more and propelling you in your business a little faster. Because never have I ever thought I would be the social media person that was helping, because I wasn't really on it. And I fought it so much. Everyone was asking me for help, and I was like, yes, no problem. And then, one of my coaches was like, I'm just saying, you might just want to think about it. So, and I like the pandemic pivot. I mean, that's really, and think about all the businesses that started during the pandemic around social media.
Right. Absolutely.
It's a powerful tool. It's not all just for young people or older generation, depending on what it is. It's very powerful. And it's also very, with reels, like I do a lot of funny stuff, like you say, it's relevant. It resonates with my followers, because it's like, oh my gosh, yes. And it feels good to be able to do that and I'm a projector, if you know about human design and Enneagram 3. So that's how I feel like I'm giving worth, is by feeling like I'm helping. And so I feel good about it, and it lets me express it. And it gives me freedom for being like stuck in the house with kids and my husband all the time.
Right. Exactly.
Have that, like that outside connection.
Yeah. Love it. So let me ask you this. How do you define success?
I think there's many ways to measure, but for me, I just want to help people and know that what I'm doing and spending my time that I could be spending on other things, I'm investing my time and taking away to focus that it's actually helping someone. And if I can just help the one person either get over their fear on doing a reel or teach them how to do it, to just give them the tools to be able to feel like confident and like, oh, I did it. Now they've ripped the Band-Aid off. Like that makes me feel good. And I feel like that's successful. And that's how I kind of measure it.
I love it. I love it. So you're teaching a class about actually using Instagram and reels and stories and posts and all that. And, you know, is there one tip that you could give our listeners today on something that, you know, they should be doing or they must be doing on Instagram? I mean, do you need to post every day or what? I mean, just one tip.
Yeah, I mean, right now, posting every day is ideal. I mean, but again, but you want to post something that's going like good. You don't want to just post to post. You really want to create, like, give the content because that they're going to need and show value. But the number one thing I would say is reels. Reels is king. It's 15 seconds. And with video is 80% like more convertible than anything else. And most of us watch video over reading something. So video is powerful, 15 seconds, and you have 2 seconds to catch their attention, or they're going to go on to the next one and the algorithm knows it. And so being really just strategic with the way you're putting it out and really utilizing that. And guess what? It's 15 seconds. If it's not good, it's okay. You do another one and you practice, because no one's first video or live or anything is good, like at all. Right? Just like podcasting. Our first podcasts are like, I'm in my son's closet on the floor with this like VTech like musical thing. And so it's like, you just never know. Everyone starts somewhere. So I would say tip, utilize reels and repurpose. Like do it to a point where you can take that video and keep it. So then later on you can reuse it and not refilm it. That way it saves you some time, and all you have to do is just make it relevant to whatever you're trying to talk about.
Yeah, I love that. Repurpose. And I think just like you said, doing it, trying it, you know, I mean, and I know I've done stuff in the past and I've even made, you know, kind of made fun of myself in the sense that it's new, it's whatever, you know, when Reels first came out, I did something really stupid, just trying to try it out. Right. You know, and so, but trying to, you know, and I think you also, the word you used was strategic. I think that's an important, I talk a lot about that in the marketing class, that it's, you know, we've got to be strategic about it and not trying to be everything to everyone. Right.
That is huge, because before, and I mean, my bio has a lot of information on everything I do, but that is me. Like I've always had like 4 jobs doing this, that, and the other. And everyone's always like, I feel like you have more hours than everybody else. I'm like, no, I can just do them easily. Like I fold laundry in my car, or I can quiz my kid while I'm cooking. Like there's things that you just can learn how to do, and my brain just functions. And I think leading into like teaching, when I watch like movies with my husband, for instance, and I see like an actor, I'm a big movie buff. I can like pick it, like, I'm like, oh, that's the guy from blah, blah, blah. And if I don't, or if he thinks it's something different, I will go on my phone, I will Google it, research it, and then I'm going to read all about that actor, because why not? And so I have all this. My mom always says I should go on this, a TV show or a game show and win some money, because I have just like pointless stuff in my head and pop culture. And I've always looked into it and understanding why. And so with Instagram and Facebook, it's like, how do I do it? Why do I do it? And when would I use it? And so trying to teach someone to strategically know when to do it, because you don't want to do something that's going to waste your time. If you can focus on like making this one thing really good and not the 3 things that you could do because you can, right?
Love that. Awesome. So I am sure we have some listeners and some mompreneurs who would like to connect with you. So, and you've got this class like I was talking about too. So where's the best place? You know, well, they can obviously find you on Instagram. And you should. Let me tell you, there's some great reels that she does. Gives you a good, and I don't even have little kids at home anymore. I got a puppy, and sometimes I can relate to just the distraction. But where can people connect with you?
I do. I get that a lot. Like this would have been helpful 20 years ago. I'm like, hey, you could be a grandparent one day. You just hold on to it. You never know. So you can find me. Well, my website's chaosandcookies.com. It's just an N. And also that's at Chaos and Cookies on Instagram, or Heather Greco Steinker on Facebook. And then my podcast is Chaos and Cookies Podcast. So I try to keep it pretty simple, and just reach out if you guys have questions or need some help, or just to say hi. I love connecting with people, and I love to help. So any questions. So
Awesome. Wonderful. I appreciate that. And be sure to check out this new course that she's teaching as well to help with your Instagram stories and reels and posts, and really jump in and be strategic about it.
yeah, it's the Instagram Bootcamp where we're going to go through each thing and break it down and understand why and what it is and what you can use it for. So then when you go to do stuff, and we're going to do some challenge, we do challenges where like we push each other, we engage on each other's things to push it forward and to really like get comfortable using it. So then by the end of the 4 weeks, plus a couple of extra bonuses that I threw in there, like you're going to feel like when I go to Instagram and I click on this, like you're going to know what to do and how to use it instead of wondering. Take the guessing out and just move on with your day and stop vacillating and wondering about it. Take it off your mental plate too. It's huge.
That's good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Heather, thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate you sharing your story, and giving some inspiration and hope to other mompreneurs, especially right now. I was reading an article about, how many women have really had to leave the workforce, with the pandemic, right? And they've had to stay home because they don't have care for their kids, or, and all of that, right? Or have been laid off. And it's a time where there's a lot more moms stepping into being a mompreneur and starting a business and doing something. And so, taking the bull by the horns, running with it, following your gut, listening to that intuition. Thank you for giving other moms hope to be able to create something in their field of expertise, right? And get it out with social selling and a variety of other ways. So thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, you're so welcome. And don't be afraid to get it out there, and because there's someone out there that needs you. So don't just keep and just stay on your path and just be true. That's all I can say.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of Yes, I Can Living. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, have a wonderful week and be sure to live that Yes, I Can life for you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.